I'm Keon.
I'm Tenzin.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Daniel.
And
we are
the Transportation Collective.
What is the problem? There are too many cars on the road, increasing both the amount of traffic and our carbon footprint. There are also misconceptions about the quality of public transportation vehicles in San Diego. Finally, there is a lack of understanding about options, routes, and access to public transportation. The solution: twofold plan. Create a PSA to inform the public of the false misconceptions associated with public transportation, and create an app to simplify and provide incentives to ride public transportation.
Our target market is millennials. Millennials are tech savvy and environmentally conscious. Millennials alone account for 50% of riders on the MTS. We know that the system works because on Petco Park nights, there are 225,000 riders on the MTS.
We have prototyped, if you want to pass this around, an app that would streamline many different systems of transportation. The user could purchase tickets as well as earn points for using public transportation, and these points would go towards products and services at a discounted price. The corporations that would sponsor these products could be earning tax breaks and advertising opportunities as well as eco-friendly branding in return. One of our potential hopeful partners would be the Free Ride app, which has already seen success in over 1 million rides and having saved over 200,000 gallons of gas. This is a potential prototype.
So for the public service announcement, we're going to remove negative connotations about public transportation. We're going to provide incentives for people that use public transportation, and we are also going to, in the video, include shots of the actual cleanliness within the trolleys, the buses, and the actual forms of transportations. So in the data that I've provided here, you can see that public transportation causes the least fatalities out of all these other forms of transportation, which would be the bus right here. And, it is a lot more energy efficient than a private car, which is the main form of transportation here in Southern California. And here's just a rough draft video of what our public service announcement video would look like.
There are a lot of misconceptions associated with public transportation. Some of these public transportation misconceptions include that it's not clean, it's dangerous, it's slower than a car, and it's not cost effective. None of these are 100% true. In 2013, 5,200 people were killed in motor transit accidents. However, in public transit accidents, only one person was killed. Do you think the cleanliness of the public transportation system is acceptable?
For us as a tourist, yes.
Be sure to check out the TTC, the Transportation Collective app, for information and rewards for using public transportation. Alright, our computation is very limited. The MTA Compass Cloud is the only form of computation we have out there. However, this platform does not offer incentives and is only available for access to the coaster and trolley. There is an overall lack of competition in the public transportation assistance industry.
Okay, so our app would be a one-stop shop for public transportation needs in our area, and it would have a map of various transportation options, and it would link various transportation accounts, and there would be deals and discounts or green points as incentives to ride it. And our PSA would break down the misconceptions of public transport and make it more accessible and trendy again. And the total cost of our project would be under $100,000 total, and an incentive for our customers would be that you could save more than $5,000 a year by taking the transit to work instead of driving your own car. And the net revenue of the MTS in San Diego has decreased $14 million from last year, so we're trying to get that up.
Thank you.
I'm Seth.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Eric.
And we're here to talk to you today about how do we encourage people to stay off their phones
when they're driving or crossing the street. So why? This problem is very, very important. And 500,000 people die each year because of this, and it's preventable. 69% of drivers in the US admit to using their phone while they're driving, and that's a big problem. How? Our product is an app that connects to your location by GPS and turns your phone off automatically to keep you from being distracted from your surroundings. And what? Our product will connect to your location by GPS, lock your phone when you get too close to an intersection or a crosswalk, and prevent you from being distracted. Our target market, so the people that we're really trying to appeal to, is teen drivers in San Diego, parents, and people who are 16 to 30 years old that care about this issue.
Okay, for more information and data, we went out for more than half an hour, and we did some customer interviews. It's like research and observations, and these are some pictures of us talking to different group of people. And we found out that in 15 minutes, there's 27 people sticking with their phones crossing streets. And most of people say that they use their phone mostly for texting and social media. And we searched in the market, and this is the only app for our competition. and it enables people to know what's in front of them when they're walking.
Why does it only have one star?
Not popular.
It must not be useful.
Yeah.
Unique selling propositions. Why would people choose the app? This app, they should choose it because it will help create less traffic around the roads, and this app will be useful when crossing the streets, because once you get next to the light, it will automatically turn off your phone, and then once you get to the other side of the street, then your phone will turn back on. Money. What will the cost of the app be? This it will cost about $50,000 to $100,000 to make the app, and about $99 to keep the app on Play Store for a year. And how are we going to make the money? We're going to sell merchandise like T-shirts, hats, and stuff, and do advertisements on TV or something like that about our app. And where else we're going to get the money is from funds from the cities, funds from a bigger sponsor, and yes.
And these are other countries' solutions. For Hawaii, they have a fine up to $99 for people who use their phone when driving. And this picture is in Germany. Is this one, embedded lights in the sidewalks to avoid accidents. And these are the lights. And we also thought about another solution, and it's okay. Science underground, because we thought apps may cost a lot of money, and this one costs that much. And it can also remind people they are heading to an intersection and let them to look around when crossing streets. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions?
Hi, my name is Emily,
I'm Bennett. And I'm Thomas.
and today we focus on how to keep homeless youth in school and to go to college and go to trade school. Okay, so imagine what your life would be like if you woke up like this every day. Would you be sad, miserable? Would you even have the motivation to want to get up in the morning to go to school? Because I know for a fact that I would not. So we found out that San Diego is the #4 biggest population in the country for the homeless population, and there was a 39% increase between 2016 and 2017 of homeless teens in San Diego. So there's not just homeless. There are 3 types of homelessness. There is chronic, transitional, and episodic. So the people we chose to focus on today were the runaway homeless population. That is under transitional, and the reason we chose them was to be able to prevent chronic homelessness, which is people who are out on the streets for long years and periods of time. And we also wanted to focus on kids whose lives are daily struggles and needing to survive.
So some of the challenges that homeless youth have to face daily are lack of a stable place to live and sleep, hygiene sources, and an income. Also, there are so many homeless teens who are constantly in fear of being placed into the foster care system or even becoming victim to human trafficking. And there are so many homeless teens who are also suffering from mental health issues. So with all of these problems and challenges, you can't expect a homeless teen to focus on education. So to combat those problems, me and my group have created the idea of Lounge Around. Lounge Around is a nonprofit organization that aims at providing a communal space where underprivileged teens can feel safe with fellow teens and while being able to tend to their basic hygienic needs. So with Lounge Around, we are able to have a house for teens to live in, food, storage, sanitary facilities, a place to sleep and study, and we put all of that into an upcycled bus. So we take out-of-use buses and turn them into places where the teens can stay, and we would put these buses next to schools to give the teens easy access to receiving their education. So our inspirations for our project are Group 70's bus and Lava Mae's bus. Group 70 is an architecture firm in Hawaii, and they decided to build a bus similar to ours to give a house and shelter to the homeless population in Hawaii. And Lava Mae is a company that runs in San Francisco and Los Angeles that has a fleet of buses that goes around these cities and provides the homeless with baths, haircuts, clothes, and a place to just hang out.
So this is where our model comes in. This is a prototype of a lounge around bus. So as you see, there's a shower in there and a bunk bed. Although this is a smaller version, so we couldn't fit as many as we wanted. There's also going to be a lounge area and somewhere for the teens to just hang out a little bit. So the reason that ours is completely different is we are focused on teenagers. We want to cater completely to the teenager who wants to get through school. These buses, although not mobile, will be parked near schools so that students can easily get to school every day and not have to question where they're going to be sleeping that night and if they're going to be able to make it to school the next day. So, how are we going to fund these buses? So, the transportation, these buses can be bought from the local government or the budget of $85 million allocated to keeping homeless teens in school by the McKinney-Vento program. The cost approximated by looking at other projects that have been done was between $30,000 and $75,000. We estimate that to get the first bus up and running, we will need about $150,000 as a proof of concept just to get the first one up and running and see how it's going. We really hope that you guys enjoyed this product, and we really want you to come and lounge around with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Natalia was like any other 15-year-old girl in San Diego. However, one night, her friend was driving her and was browsing social media, and tragically they hit a tree and Natalia died.
She, unfortunately, was not the only one. 88 out of 100 drivers admittedly say that they use social media and or text while driving. 36 distracted driving death has happened in San Diego in 2017, and 6,000 pedestrians also died throughout the nation last year as well. Enter Roadblock. What is Roadblock? Roadblock is an application that prevents young drivers ages 16 to 25 from texting and driving. It uses an RFID chip paired to the application on the driver's phone. It allows young drivers to become eligible for lower insurance rates. The process is so simple. It's 2 steps. First, you place a sticker, and second, you download the app.
So this is what a prototype of the product is like. So you get an envelope like this from Roadblock. You open it, and inside is your RFID chip. And you place it here or here, because they're the legal places that you can place it inside a car. That area is depicted within the circle, and once it's within the circle, and you have the app on your phone, you can only access navigation and media applications on your phone. However, if a passenger in the car would like to use the phone, all you have to do is simply remove the phone from the red circle, and anyone else in the car can use it.
So we developed a prototype. This is somewhat of a lock screen, as you can see. It's designed to promote safe driving by only allowing access to the essentials, navigation and media through audio input rather than manual input. If Roadblock detects driving motion, you have to stay on the screen in the app. Removing to this focus in the application will log an infraction and notify a parent or the insurance company. You can give it to a passenger. They can do whatever they want with it, but once it enters that red zone you saw, governed by the RFID, you are a driver using a cell phone. That's bad, and there are consequences to that. So we're specifically targeting young drivers because, as I know, we're subject to astronomical insurance rates. And similarly to how insurance will offer discounts if you agree to install a GPS system in your car or an alarm system, which will promote safe driving and drive their costs down, we're going to partner with insurance companies to do the same with Roadblock and promote safe driving that way. So here's some numbers. $18,500 is the average claim on distracted driving insurance. And if you multiply that by the 424,000 claims they get per year, that's a whopping $8 billion of nonsense distraction. If we can get that down by just 10%, we'd save almost $800 million. So if we invest just $1 million to develop the app, imagine what a return that would be.
So why choose Roadblock? First, it allows the driver to only use necessary apps while driving, such as media or navigation. Second, it uses voice activation so it doesn't deter the driver from taking their eyes off the road. Third, it is able to tell the difference between the driver and everyone else in the car. So if someone else wants to use the phone for whatever they want, it knows when to allow it and when to not allow it. And lastly, it is a great incentive for drivers to not use their phone while driving because they have lower insurance rates. So it's fantastic.
If only Natalia's friend had Roadblock, because you shouldn't have to choose between saving money and saving lives when you can do both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good? Okay. Good evening, judges. My name is Diego Martinez.
I'm Fritz Borda.
I'm Haley Williams.
And I'm Joshua Tolliver.
And today we show you DigiFair.
So our problem was getting more high school teenagers like ourselves interested in doing community service and caring about their communities.
There are about 500,000 students enrolled in San Diego high schools. That makes up 15% of San Diego's population. These students want to do community service. And we know this because we already did the research. Now, according to Google Trends, San Diego ranks among the top when it comes to searches of community service throughout California.
Now, we know that teens want to do community service. The only question is, why aren't they doing community service? We as teens compiled a list of reasons that we would not be able to go to a community service event, and we assume that other teens face similar problems, which include not having time to do community service events, not having the means to get to and from community service events, facing the stigma of doing community service events instead of doing whatever the hip teens are doing these days, and one of the bigger reasons, not knowing how or where to start.
So we came up with two main solutions. One of them was having a fair. So similar to a college fair, this would be for volunteering organizations. So they would come to a school and they would sit at booths and present about themselves so that teens are more informed. Another one would be creating an app that, among several functions that we came up with, would tell teens like where local volunteering opportunities are and also who's going to them. So rather than going with either one of these, we decided to combine them into something that we call DigiFair.
DigiFair is a Facebook page that we've created, and what it does is it allows students to go on and navigate through our site to find scholarships relating to community service and other community service opportunities. We actually made DigiFair.
Okay, so judges, before this video plays, I would like you guys to pull out your phones and load up Facebook. Thank you. Oh. It's alright if you guys don't have Facebook or you don't want to take out your phone. Okay, so once you load up Facebook, go in the search menu and type in SD space DigiFair. We will be the first result that pops up. Once you load, you'll see our homepage where we post community events, polls, and other teen activities to do. Something about DigiFair is that it is a portal for teens to connect with other teens who are interested in doing community service and like helping out their community. Once again, here's our homepage. Here's our about page where it shows a brief description of what we do. Here's some events that we had planned, and here's some frequently asked questions by teens. Also, here are some of the groups that we have planned for the teens, such as animals, homeless, all the type of events. Once again, here's the homepage. We would really appreciate it if you guys like our page. Much appreciated. Thank you.
You got 30 likes already.
Yeah.
We recognize our competitors, such as Hands On San Diego, who averages about 3.1 likes per day on Facebook, compared to us where we got 30 likes within 2 hours. The difference between us and our competitors is that we are the market, the target market.
We created DigiFair already. It's not in a prototype stage. It's not something that we want to do in the future. We've created it. And what we're asking you today, judges, is to give us the opportunity to continue working on DigiFair. We are very passionate about it. After meeting for this 8 hours, we enjoy working with each other, and we would like to continue to work with each other on DigiFair. So we ask that we have the opportunity to access mentors, to access meeting spaces, and to have collaboration with any volunteer or event planning sectors to be able to continue DigiFair. We have the answers. Do you have any questions?
Yes. So you said there are some other organizations that are pulling together this doing similar things, but is there something effectively connecting teenagers with apprenticeships, with internships? Do you know?
So we would be able to partner with different organizations. I go to a school that partners with a bunch of different organizations, so I would be able to connect with Matt Diarigo right here. He actually visited my school and gave a presentation with our Passion Talk series.
Thank you for remembering me.
I would want to bring those connections to DigiFair to allow teens to do internships and to work with other organizations to volunteer.
Because it's a real need. I've been working with Vista on their whole teen youth empowerment series, and they struggle making this happen.
So, a major part of DigiFair, it's not necessarily that there aren't organizations that do similar things, and it's not even that we're unique, which we are. It's that we want to make it as accessible as possible, because community service things are all around us, but most teens don't know about it.
Yeah.
The only reason that I'm in the community service organization is because my mom started the La Jolla chapter of it.
Yeah.
So we want to go to schools, we want to make as many people as we can aware.
Peer, peer. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hi, my name is Dylan Clark.
I'm Justin Hahn.
I'm Sake. And we are JDS Corporation, connecting people to communities. So our program that we created is called TOUCH. This stands for Teen Outreach Unifying Communities with Help. When we did our research, we noticed two main problems with getting teens to engage in their community. The first was, how do we do this? And the second was outreach. The way we tackled this first problem was by creating a turnkey touch program that allows teens to easily set up, organize, and implement community unity. The second was by creating a step-by-step, easy-to-follow format.
So, our Touch program implements 10 kits. We have community assessment, organization, outreach, calendar, funding, incentive, unity, parent, transportation, and public safety, which is all makes it very easy and scalable to go to designs for the organizations or industries.
Our first service kit is a community assessment kit. This kit, when you buy our product, we will send in one of our specialists with this kit. What they do is they analyze this community and bring back data to our company. With this, we take this data and send in another specialist. This specialist then helps this community implement our new process on how to be successful in creating youth to be involved in the community. Our second kit is the organization kit. This kit is focused on how to create an organization that can solidify and make sure the success of our program. What we do is we create a teen ambassador program which employs teens and can also focus on employing homeless teens. We also have a social media coordinator and adult leaders.
So we have next up our outreach kit. So the outreach kit, as mentioned before, was a major problem that we had. So in order to solve this, we implemented social media, webinars, and basic media into community services. We also have community engagement supervisors that help manage teens or volunteers. Oh yeah,
Good.
sorry.
In the calendar kit, we have a master calendar where it provides information for our volunteers and events and timelines. And also in our calendar kit, we have a tracker that tracks our like how we are progressing with our volunteers.
Thank you.
And also in my next transition for the funding kit, we provide resources to a community and a school about our program, and then if they want to expand our program, then we refer them to our similar people from our corporation of the JDS.
Next up is the incentive kit. The incentive kit motivates teens to help out in community service. So we provide class credit and also job opportunities for volunteers. We also have a reward system that pretty much rewards volunteers that work extra unscheduled shifts. This also provides professional development skills that help occupations in the future. Oh yeah, the Unity Kit also focuses, the Unity Kit contains guidelines to help create a focus point for teens to gather and have more job opportunities.
The parent kit is next. This so our product is focused on kids 11 to 18, the youth. And basically what the parent kit does is it helps connect parents and encourages parents to get involved with their teen and help their teen become more involved in their community, and also stresses why it is important to have a strong community. It also, this kit also provides a group discussion guide, which gives options for future implementations.
For the transportation kit, we have general guidelines to show and give information about our events and where it's held at. And for the public safety kit, we have city rule regulations where it helps the crowds and the volunteers out a lot, yeah.
And so in conclusion, our product creates an easy roadmap on how to get young people engaged in our communities. It also has the option for scalability and future implementations where we can even expand it to organizations and different industries.
Thank you all for being here today and giving us your time. My name is Elizabeth. I'm Abby.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Tyler.
And our project is Project Hire.
1.2 million students drop out of high school every single year.
9,116 homeless people are on the streets right now.
75% of all crimes committed in the U.S. are committed by high school dropouts.
Project Hire will save homelessness in San Diego.
Project Hire will solve homelessness by hearing,
Inspiring, reaching out, and educating.
Project Hire is a student organization which facilitates seminars and community conversations around the experiences of homeless youth.
Okay, so in San Diego, we increased our population while the rest of the nation decreased by 18% of homelessness. So I think we're not doing justice to homeless youth right now. I live in Sherman Heights, so I see all of the homelessness when I go to school. And it's not being fixed at all. And I think if we don't fix it right here and right now, we're not going to fix it ever.
So how does Hire work? Hire works by, we select 3 schools that we believe needs the Hire program the most. Second, we start implementing the process, which includes an incentive. The first incentive is that just by showing up and going to school, the homeless student receives bus passes and school supplies. Secondly, every day they go to school, they receive $10 into their family income. Third, a mentorship program from another student is offered to each and every homeless youth for tutoring in case they need help after school. And fourth, a club creates seminars and social events with homeless students and non-homeless students to understand each other, similar to a gay-straight alliance.
So you might be wondering how this actually works for the homeless kids. So imagine this, you're a homeless student and you need to provide for your family because for whatever reason your parents can't provide. So you go to school, but going to school takes away time from being able to provide for your family, so you're ready to drop out. But your school gets a speaker, an inspirational speaker. They talk about how they got through homelessness and what their struggles were and how they passed them. They also talk about Project Hire and the Earn to Learn program. You sign up for the Earn to Learn program and you're now able to provide for your family while being able to learn. Because you can learn, you graduate high school, you get a job, and you get your family out of homelessness. So we're not the only working on the homeless kids dropping out of school program. There's also the Earn to Learn program in Arizona, the Education Rights Project, the Stand Up for Kids, and the Schools on Wheels programs.
Okay, so the first main general project is going to be funded by the school. And that's just not going to affect one student, that's going to affect the school as a whole. The next one is going to be a direct support to the students. And that's going to affect a student individually who's going to get the money. And then the next one is management, and that's going to be the fiscal sponsorship. And our whole budget is going to be a little bit over $400,000, but 80% is going to go straight to the students.
So how do we keep homeless youth in school and on track? The answer is by including Project Hire in every school in the San Diego County. By keeping the homeless in school, they have the opportunity to earn their high school diplomas and even have the opportunity to go to college, which not a lot of them have the opportunity to go to. Project Hire will help solve homelessness in San Diego. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you for joining us today, judges. My name is Wei, and these are my two colleagues.
Alia.
And
Peter.
Our project is called Conversations for Change. Our goal is to educate teens in San Diego on youth homelessness.
You're doing great.
We plan on, there are many misconceptions about youth homelessness. We want to bring speakers to students all around San Diego, and we want to bring people who are knowledgeable in youth homelessness, as well as bring people who have experienced homelessness in their youth. We currently there are 23,000 students from grades K to 12 who are experiencing homelessness in San Diego. This means they could either be sheltered or unsheltered.
We have adapted a TED-like platform for our panel members. It will be a 45-minute session, and the very first initial session will be recorded. The first 30 minutes will be about the panel members sharing their experiences and expertise, while the 15 minutes is dedicated to the Q&A. For subsequent sessions, it will be the recording of the 30-minute session, but then it will be a panel member answering the questions live. We will be promoting this by uploading our recordings up to social media such as Instagram and Facebook.
this project can be completed and implemented in 1.5 week times. There is no need for funding, so we don't need, there's no need for funding. All we need is your support to make our project, Conversations for Change, a reality.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
This is the Missing Piece program. So we were presented with the problem of how do we keep homeless youth in school and on track to attend college and or a trade school, because studies show that 75% of homeless youth do not receive a high school diploma. This is due to the priorities of the students, who often put housing over education. Where am I going to sleep tonight versus what am I going to learn in school today? They need a safe place to study, and they often go through emotional trauma due to an unstable and abusive environment, causing a lack of focus in school. Oftentimes they have hunger due to lack of meals throughout the day, and the resources that they do not already have, such as internet access, school computers, and books. As well, oftentimes students seem to be working to support their family, to support their family through jobs so that they can raise their household income, and discouraged from falling behind in schools, whether it be absences from bouncing around from shelter to shelter. I can attest to this because my neighbors were evicted from their house, and we adopted them as foster brothers, and their semester one grades, were D's and F's, and greatly increased to a 3.5 honor roll and above in semester 2 due to the improved living conditions.
Our solution is a state grant, which is given to all schools which adopt our program. This solution takes the form of an after-school study session, which occurs every day until 7:30 p.m. During this time, students can work on homework, receive tutoring from other students, participate in peer group discussions, as well as receiving a full dinner meal. They will also occasionally participate in fun activities like movie nights or shower hours in order to stay clean. If they do not have the necessary school supplies, they'll be provided at this time. For each class, there will be 1 to 2 supervisors, which will make sure everyone stays on track, and this will vary depending on the size of the student body and the percentage of homeless. And for each district, there will be 1 controller, which dictates the day-to-day activities for each program of the schools within their district.
So there are many solutions to this. As Ray touched upon, there's a dinner provided, which is a great incentive for the homeless youth to come here, because many times they'd have to work to get the dinner or not have the dinner at all. And also, now that they can come to a program after school, their parents don't have to worry about looking after them and can continue working on their jobs, generating more revenue. Also, it's a safe space where they can connect with their peers. Normally they might be in a school where they feel alienated or bullied by other kids, but now that they can relate to other kids who are in their socioeconomic status, they can feel safer. Also, they can have better hygiene because schools already have pre-installed showers, and they can use this to feel more secure and stop against bullying. And the last and most important is the secure and supportive environment. And so this can help them to fully focus on school, because at home or in their living condition, there might be alcohol abuse or drug abuse, so it's very important for them to focus. Our target market is not only the homeless kids, but also kids who don't have a stable living condition at home. And so this will hopefully help to counteract against the negative stigma against the program only towards the homeless youth. Other people that would have to support this are not only the students, but also the schools and the parents. There are similar resources that exist in downtown San Diego, like AVID, Project Safe, and public libraries, but the difference is that there's still only 25% graduation rate for the homeless youth, and so clearly something is missing in the equation.
And these programs are great first steps. However, the Missing Piece program is the second step that students need to utilize in order to achieve a high school diploma. What makes us unique is we serve teens where they are. Instead of paying a transportation fee to go to a public library, we mix in acceptance and emotional bonds with schools and their colleagues. So these students are able to empathize and relate with students that are going through the same struggles that they are, which you don't find at a public library or even AVID. We also incorporate dinner, which is lacked by in the public library system, AVID, and even Project Safe, and it creates a secure, stable environment where students can focus, unlike shelter training classes, which can be chaotic and interrupt their studies.
Our total costs range between $40,000 and $70,000 per year per school, and this total cost averages to about $1,800 per student. 90% of our funding comes from the state budget, and the other 10% comes through business fundraisers and individual donations. More importantly, our program pays for itself. The cost of putting one student through 4 years of the Missing Piece is equal to the cost of 1 year of public assistance. San Diego is one of the highest populations of homeless in the country, and the current systems in place clearly aren't enough. 18,000 students fall through the cracks each year, and even more have already fallen. The Missing Piece will catch students who are falling behind in school and allow students who are already motivated with the tools they need to succeed now and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.